Defining rebellion. My first true act of rebellion came in a clear 14 milliliter Luron jar. I was 10 years old, and colorless nail varnish was going to be it. The moment is only sweet in retrospect. In reality, it was terrifying, and I am still half incredulous that I actually did it. You must not imagine that I was living in some stifling, highly structured environment. Quite the contrary. I lived with my grandmother in Meru. I could wear trousers if I wanted. I could romp around as much as I wanted, as long as the housework was done. Every adult I knew drank alcohol, and it was understood that at the right age, I too could drink if I chose to. I had a swimsuit that I wore every other Sunday to go to and from the hotel across the road, which had a swimming pool. Most scandalous of all, I could watch the bold and the beautiful. Given that it was Meru in 1997. That was a very liberal upbringing. In fact, few girls of that age in Meru today have the leeway my grandmother allowed me. To understand why nail varnish was it, you would have to know my grandmother. There were 3 unforgivable sins to my grandmother: laziness, selfishness, and frivolity, in that order. The first 2 she countered by panel beating you into shape. The last one, she never allowed to manifest itself. My grandmother, not that she knew who Jackie Kennedy was, belonged to the Jackie Kennedy school of fashion. Beauty was simple, clean, and elegant. Anything more than 3 hair accessories, and even this number was quite a stretch, was garish. Lipstick was tacky. Anytime you spent more than 15 minutes on your face, you needed to ask yourself how better that time could have been spent. Clothes did not need ribbons, lace, or frills. She was all about fabric, color, cut, and quality stitching. Much like Jackie, she always managed to look elegant. A polished silhouette. That kind of dress sense, however, needs a certain kind of woman. My grandmother was, however, in the way that life tends to create its own humor, plagued with frivolous daughters-in-laws. Bright red lipstick, 30 shades of nail varnish, pungent perfumes, bottles of lotions, jars of creams, tubes of ointments, and brightly colored wigs were aplenty in her compound. She sought to stop these tendencies to garish display from taking root in her granddaughters. Any displays of vanity and self-absorption, even something as simple as braiding pink and blue ribbons in your hair, would be quickly chastised. I have no recollection what inspired the need to make a statement. All I remember is that one fine day, I borrowed the varnish from my aunt and hid it in my bedroom. I waited till after dinner. Everyone had showered and eaten. This was the time people used to watch No One But You. Yes, even back then, there were soap operas. As I waited for the news, which would be followed by The Bold and the Beautiful. It was also the time people chatted over the affairs of the day. Alternatively, we commentated on the programs. Oh, najua wazungu ni wandazimu wewe, huh? You know white people are crazy? I went to the living room and carried out the dare I had set myself. I placed it on a stool right in front of the poof. I focused on ignoring the sudden hush that fell upon the room. I ignored the way my grandmother had fixed her eyes on me. I ignored all the other eyes watching the space between me and my grandmother with bated breath. I ignored, too, the way the blood rushed into my ears and my heart raced. Everything was happening in slow motion. I drifted off somewhere above the room and watched myself do it. I unscrewed the thing open, and with my breath held, applied a coat to my big toe, then the next, then the next, now the other foot. Whew. Then one hand, then the other. All this with my hands keeping still. Out of the corner of my eyes, I saw that my grandmother never took her eyes off me. I never raised mine to meet hers. Once I was done, I screwed it shut using the tips of my fingers and fanned out my hands to dry. Then, when I rose up to go back to my room carrying the tiny bottle, I walked past her and she called out, "Good night, madam." Oh dear. I lay in bed imagining how I would be punished for it. The truth is, I was punished. Not in what way that would seem significant now, but in the little ways that my grandmother knew would get to me. The terror of that moment is now a feeling of exhilaration. Years later, when I feel the need for that extra bit of courage to jump off on a particular train, I go back to this moment, the second before I need to jump. Is this my voice? Ha, he, ha, he, hu. Really? Is this? Ha, hi. Really? Is this my voice? Is this my voice sprawling across the page, revealing my aspirations, my feelings, my inner discourse, intellectual or not, exposing my late night musings of nights past, my insomniac marks when sleep was not had or much of anything else but thought? Is this my voice carrying across my experiences, marking the day I sat on a number 58, many days, one of many, just after, and dressed on the street was a girl whose voice was not loud enough? Is this my voice? Is this my voice carrying my struggle as a writer when words would come and separately make sense? Together make me wonder if I would ever make it as a writer. Is this my voice carrying my doubt but echoing perseverance and telling my story? Is this my voice carrying a girl barely legal, pushed by her uncle to take on the roles of her aunt indeed? Is this my voice carrying the emotions of a would-have-been father, his confused joy, a would-have-been mother, her pained smile just after the deed? Is this my voice? Inquiring what a woman's place in this society is it merely as a wife, a mother, or other socially ascribed roles, or, can she step boldly on the broken pieces of labels, walking confidently towards her dreams? Is this my voice popping off of the page, knowing it has found a space so safe to ask these questions and more, to tell the stories of them as women, as girls, young and full of dreams? Is this my voice telling the stories of mothers birthing carefully a world that reconnects you and yours? Is this my voice? Yes, it is. It is my voice. It is our voice that tells the stories as they need to be heard. Because a woman will remember what happened 156 days ago at 7:19 p.m. to one of her own, husband, daughter, brother, child, anyone of hers, before she remembers her childhood nickname. So listen Listen to their stories. Listen to these women and their freshly painted voices through their words. Listen as the narratives trickle down one by one. Listen, for you too might be a character in their stories. Listen, for it is our voices through their words freshly painted. So listen.